Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jay with another epic video. Guys, today we'll start the new series that I talked about doing deck profiles. So I figured the first one I do, you guys see me if you've watched any of my live streams or any like the deck versus deck videos. I've made a few kind of this, but I've used it a lot mostly during the live stream. I'll try and make some more deck versus deck videos, me using the 6 Samurai deck, guys. If you have any comments about the deck profile and things like that, guys, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm just going to do this one video as the deck profile, and then I'm going to do 2 more videos, another video on what, how I'd use the deck first turn, and then how you would, like if I, some test hands going first turn and some test hands going second turn. I don't think that's talked about really about enough, guys, just kind of in general. So that's why I wanted to break it down into 3 videos. If you guys would like me, comment down below if you'd like me to do all this in one video. Hey, what would I do if I got a hand going first turn? Hey, what would I do with a hand going second turn? And we go through different things. But I figured since it would be a longer video, it'd probably be best, since I wanted to be that informative for you guys and go through and break down the deck and how I use it and things like that, which I do in all of my live streams. So you're welcome to join my live streams and watch me use the deck and break it down and things like that during that too. But I'm going to make 2 separate videos on this, guys. Make sure you guys check out the description. I've got different ways you guys can support the channel. I've now got affiliated with Amazon. I'm also in the process of getting affiliated with TCG Player. So you guys can use the link down below, and if you buy anything off Amazon, and it gives a kickback to back to the channel, and it really does help out the channel. And it's not a lot of money, but it's very little, which will help at least do some help with a little bit of these unboxing videos that I do for you guys from time to time. But let me go ahead and dive in, guys. We'll go through this and just comment down below if you guys have any questions, maybe want to have a certain card or whatever, things like that. Just let me know down below in the comments. With that being said, guys, if you guys like this here and you guys would like to see more series of deck profiles, make sure you guys smash the like button, and also let me know down below in the comments. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you guys get subscribed. With further ado, let's go ahead and dive in, guys. So the main one, of course, for the kind of the deck, guys, is going to be Kaizen. You definitely always want to use 3 of him. My version's a little bit different, guys, so just kind of stick with me through this. I always like using 3. You definitely want to use 3 Kaizens. I haven't seen anyone use, not use 3 Kaizens, basically. But for the obvious reason, guys, he can be special summoned, so he's very easy to get out, and he helps you out a lot. You're going to be using it a lot in the deck, and that'll make more sense when we get through the test decks. For my build, guys, I use 2 of the Grandmaster. Some people only use 1. Some people don't use them at all, which I don't understand. At least, if you're going to use them, you at least use 1. But for mine, I use 2, and I'll explain more when we go through test hands and stuff like that, why I use specifically 2 in the deck. For this one, guys, I also use 2 Kaigekis. 3 just seems way too overboard, and it gets, you definitely want too many of them stuck in your hand. So definitely 2 just seems like the right spot for that one. This is the one that lets you, when he's normal summoned, you can special summon a 6 Samurai monster from your hand to your side of the field. So it makes it easy to go into like the Grandmaster, or use it to go into Azold, like I do in the deck, which we'll go more over that later on. I also use 2 Mizuhos, guys. I'll put it closer to camera so you can see. She's really good. I've got a loop that I do with the deck that I can do an infinite summon, guys, and also destroy their field. More on that when I do the test 10 videos, so make sure you guys check that out if you're interested in seeing the infinite loop that I do with her. Also with Shinai, they special summon off each other, guys, so they work together. They're a really good combo together. You can, if you have either one on the field, you can special summon the other. Also with Mizuho's effect, let's say you tribute Shinai, I can add a card, a 6 Samurai monster from my graveyard back to my hand. So it really works out very well, like toggling these 2. They work very well together, basically. Alright. And I just use 1 of these guys, Hitsuma. I just use 1 of her, which seems like what most people use for this deck so far. That's kind of consistent with what you've seen from others. Her effect is, guys, you can remove from play 2 6 Samurais, kind of in the field or the graveyard, and then you can special summon 1 6 Samurai monster from the graveyard to your side of the field. So she's really useful too. I do use 1 Zanji, guys, and I'll explain. I don't see really a lot of people using like Zanji and some of the old school ones. I'll explain why I've got a Zanji in here when we go through like the test hands too. It'll make more sense, or it'll kind of make sense when I get into the extra deck. You'll see why that I play Zanji in here. It'll make sense later on. I use 1 of the Fire Flint ladies. She's really good, guys, especially if you get a hand that maybe you can't play something in, or maybe you're toggling something with your hands back from using the Gateway, for example, and you've already used your normal summon. This is a good extra way to get, to normal summon something you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So a really good card, helps speed up the deck. We definitely need at least 1 Shin Squire in the deck, guys, to do some other combos and some things like that for the extra deck and some special summons, so that comes in really good and handy. And then of course I use Fuma. I see a lot of people use Fuma, so it's very standard. I use one Fuma, guys. It's a tuner, just like the Shin is too, so both of these are 1-star tuners that really help us out a lot. I also use Gemba. It's a 2-star tuner as well when he's normal summoned, guys. If you happen to have like a 6 Samurai monster card and you're removed from play, you can add it back to your hand when he's normal summoned, and yet again he's also a tuner, so he helps out a lot. I do use one great Shogun Shin. He's very easy for me to get out in the deck, guys, and get a really good lock on my opponent. I don't really need him for the lock, but he's always really helped out. I haven't really seen a lot of people play him anymore either. Most of them just kind of focus on the little ones. But I use one of him. If you've watched any of my live streams, you notice he's come in really good handy, especially if I draw something that doesn't really have any attack and maybe I draw kind of a one-off hand. I usually end up getting him and he ends up saving me a lot of the times. So we do have one Gateway, guys. That's the one thing that is holding the 6 Samurais back. I'm hoping when they change the ban list, if they haven't done that already, I haven't looked recently. But I know that's coming out soon, if it hasn't already been released. I'm hoping they put these where you can at least use 2 Gateways, because Gateway's like the main part of this deck. If they kill your Gateway, there's really nothing else you guys can do. So you need Gateway to make sure you're pulling cards from the deck by removing 4 counters, guys. If you've never used the deck, that card's very important. So if your Gateway gets destroyed or removed from play or things like that, you really can't do much with the deck. It's at least to a competitive format. If you're just playing for fun, it's not that big of a deal. But in a competitive format, for 6 Samurai to really be competitive, we really need a second Gateway. My deck's still really good. If you guys have watched the live streams, it's to do a lot of crazy stuff with it. You definitely want to use 3 dojos, guys. We want to make sure we're getting those Bushido counters every time we normal summon or special summon a 6 Samurai monster. So you definitely want to use 3 of these guys. They're really, really good at allowing you to put however many counters you've got on the card, you can send it to the graveyard and you can special summon from your deck monsters equal to or less than the counters on the card. So for example, if I have 3 counters on it, I can remove it from play to special summon from the deck a 6 Samurai monster that's a level 3 or lower. So it's a very, really good card, and it helps go along with Gateway 2 to help cards with counters on it, so you definitely want that too. I use 3 of the Uniteds as well, guys, as you could probably imagine. Yet again, we definitely want cards that gives us counters. This one, it can only hold a max of 2, so it is a very downside of this card. So when you guys are going through and doing your combos and you're using your Gateway to remove counters, make sure you always remove them off of United. You hear me go over this a lot in my live stream, so make sure you guys are doing that because you never want to get stuck on 2 counters. And then you're summoning out extra stuff and you're just losing counters. So it's very important that you're removing it from this and kind of like from Gateway, like I go over in the live stream, because if they're going to destroy one of your cards, they're going to get rid of the Gateway, because yet again, it's the main focus of the deck. I do use one Temple of the 6 guys. Really helps out cutting your opponent's attack points down a little bit, which really is not that important in the deck. I mostly care about it for the counters, which is why I use it. I know some people don't use it, but I use it specifically for the counters, and just as a side bonus, it makes their attack points go down, which is really not that big of a deal with the infinite loop I do to destroy their field anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's just an extra bonus. Of course, use 1 reinforcement of the army. This is my old school gold rare version of it. I use, as you guys could imagine, 3 Shin smoke signals. Pretty much everyone used the standard 3 for obvious reasons, so I'm not going to bother to explain. Monsterborn, obvious reason. I use Instant Fusion. It'll make sense when you guys see the extra deck. I know some people kind of use it. I do use 2 World Legacy Successions. It's very good. We do a lot of link summons in this deck, guys, so it's really good doing 2. Plus, I've got a move where I can pull 1 from the deck to my hand. It'll make more sense yet again when we get into the extra deck here in a second. For the equip cards, for yet again kind of for the extra deck too, and just so I can actually use them too, I use 2 Living Fossils. It's really good. It lets me bring back, I can bring back any of my cards, like 6 Samurais, from the graveyard, guys, and special summon it to my side of the field, but when it's removed from the field, it is removed from play. But it does allow me to go back into a combo or something, things like that, or link off of, things like that, or maybe even synchro off of, things like that. So it's very helpful. I do use 2 of the I guess, Hitsuma of the, I can't pronounce it, but of the 6 Samurai. It's a really good card, guys, especially for some of the new combo moves that I've started using with the deck. It'll make sense when I do some of the going through test hands and stuff like that. But this really does help out as far as yet again link summoning, synchro summoning, really get into some of our combo moves. Especially if you drew maybe like a bad hand, there's several cards in the deck that I can play this off of. But you have to have the same monster's attack and special summon it from the deck. So like if I have an 18, I can special summon another 18 from the deck, or if I have a 16, that I use it for on the field. I can bring a 16 from the deck and special summon it to my side of the field. So it's really good to link off of, synchro summon off, or just pull something out of the deck. You want to pull it out of the deck real quickly. I use one Upstart Goblin, guys, to draw a card, and I use one Day of Peace to draw, and just kind of keep us from maybe I drew a bad hand first turn or something like that, or maybe, hey, I don't care about them taking damage. I just want to make sure we get some good combo moves going. So I do use one for the fusion card that we looked at, guys. For the instant fusion is the word that I'm looking for. So for instant fusion, that's why I play this guy, Kambala, the warrior. He goes perfect with this combo, guys. Plus, you get again, he's a 4. That'll make more sense here in a moment. So I'll kind of leave that there so I can explain a little bit more in a little bit. For mine, guys, I do use 3 of the Battle Shoguns. I've debated about going down to 2, but usually if I'm like in a longer, like it's a longer duel, usually my duels with this deck are very, very quick. Other than how long it takes to be my turn for my turn, other than the long turns that I tend to have, which is why I don't use it on the game too much when you guys watch me live stream, because of the the 3 limit time. It's very hard to use with this deck, but if you're very focused and you know what you're going for, you can use the 6 Samurai deck like I play on Link Evolution. But it's very difficult if you're new to the deck and you're struggling to be able to figure out what you're going to do in 3 minutes or less with this deck, because it's very involved with a lot of the combos that I do. And that'll make sense that I'll go through, and if you've watched any of my previous live streams, you know what I'm talking about. You really could get away with 2 guys, because you can cycle them back using the Gateway, which is fine, and things like that. So you could get away with 2, but I use 3 just specifically because, as you can see, I don't use like any Call by the Graves or anything like that. That's why I use it, just so in case I run into a situation, I may need to relink them, things like that. So that's why I run 3. I've debated maybe going down to 2, but a lot of the times it saved me specifically having 3 because of the way I've got the deck built and what I've got it set to specifically do. And that makes sense yet again if you've watched any of my live streams with the deck. I do use, guys, Azold. You guys, if you've watched my live stream, you see me play Azold always first. Azold's very good in this deck, guys. I see a lot of people that use this deck basically using it about the same way that I do. What we can do is I can use Azold, and then I can send our equip cards, our living fossils, to the graveyard from the deck, which of course 1 thins out the deck, and then 2 also it lets us special summon. I can then bring out one of the tuners from the deck is what I'll do. So I'll usually, if I want to bring out, let me go back to them really quick. So if I wanted to bring out either one of these guys that we were looking at earlier, right? It's very easy to pull this off in that combo. So that's why, obviously, she's in here, guys. She really helps out the deck a lot with that specific combo move. So the next one, Shadow of the 6 Samurai Shin, just for obvious reasons. He's an extra card, especially if you're down on counters, guys. Just use 2 of the Kaizens to make him and get some extra counters on the board. That's usually when I end up playing him, or just to boost the Battle Shogun. Attack higher, just to do it basically, and plus get the counters on top of it. I don't play this one very often, unless and usually I'm down on counters. That's why he's in here, and I think that's why most people use him too. It's just kind of more of a backup card for the counters to help kind of build. Maybe you get hit by an Ash or something, or maybe you got hit, by an Imperm or something, or whatever it may be. Maybe you're just trying to recover from the counters, or someone, stopping them effect, or stopping, something being added to your hand, for example. So let's go into the other one. So we'll go ahead and go over this one too. So I use the legendary 6 Samurai Shin. I use him too, guys. He's really good. I get him out very easily in the deck. He's very good. You can negate one of your opponent's spell trap cards once per turn. So he's definitely very good. I do also use one of the Flame Swordsmans too, guys. Very good, especially if you've got something that's like a non-warrior. So maybe you got hit by Nibiru or something like that, and you need to go into some that's a warrior, maybe to try and replay one of the Battle Shoguns, something like that, maybe to try and link back into. So it's a way to kind of get around that, or maybe another one of your cards you've linked or synchro summoned out that's not a warrior card, and you need to go into something else like the Battle Shogun that specifically needs like a warrior card. That's a good way to do it, and just use maybe some of your opponent's cards that you've got, like yet again by Nibiru, or a token that's on your side of the field due to them. I do use one of the Naturia Beast, guys. It's one of the combos. I can do this first turn to bring out the Naturia Beast. It's a very good card, and it also gets, it's a very good move to get my opponent in a very good block. So I use Naturia Beast as well. I'm just going to kind of run through them, the rest of them. So I use Appaloosa as well, guys. She's very easy to get into in the deck, as you could imagine. So I use her for obvious reasons. This one that I've used is one of the ones that I said that would make sense later. Also why that we play this combo here, because it helps even more going into the I can't even talk right. Primath Mech Albatron. He looks really cool too. Let's see if I can get the show in the camera. There we go. But this last effect, guys, if you can see down at the very bottom, if you have four level 4s equipped to him, you can send all 4 to the graveyard, guys, and then I can pull any spell or trap card from the deck and add it to my hand. So basically, you get him out, and what I can do is then I can pull any card I need out of the deck, but obviously you're gonna want probably to get one of the Uniteds or the Dojo. More likely you're gonna go for the Dojo because you haven't drawn them all, so you're probably gonna use it to pull Dojo. But if you're in a set set situation, maybe something else is better to draw than a Dojo or one of the cards that gets the counters. I could add Monster Reborn. I could add anything else that I need from the deck to my hand. So it's a very good card and a very useful card. So I use it for that specific reason. I'm working on finding better ways to get it out, but I like the version that I've got going now. I've had pretty good success of getting them out pretty easily. I've also used Heroic Champion Excalibur. Really easy to make in the deck, guys, too. Get rid of both cards attached to him. He's a 4,000 attack for your turn. Union Carrier, which allows us to go into my Infinite Special Summon move, guys, and also destroy their cards using my Shinai and my Mizuho combo. If you've watched me on the game, I've used this combo very many times using Union Carrier. A lot of people think they're going to ban Union Carrier in the ban list once they go through and make the changes this month. We'll see if that happens, because it does make in the game right now where you can make a lot of crazy broken combos. So that's why I use it the same way as everyone else, because this is another broken combo that I can use specifically for this deck. This is another one that I haven't seen a lot of people use in this deck, but the way I've got it built, it's very good, guys, is IB, the World Chalice Justler. She's really good, guys. It allows me to add my Succession back from the deck to my hand, so I can pull this when she's synchro summoned out, guys. I can then add this card from my deck to my hand. So that's the main reason I play her. That, and she's also a tuner. A lot of people forget she's a tuner. So she's a tuner, guys, if you can see there. And then I use her specifically to then go instantly into Borreload. I use her and then one of the 3s, and then I'll synchro summon into Borreload. So now I have a Borreload on the field that quick and that easy. And it's easy to do because I've already got her out. I've added this back to my hand, so even if she's the only card on my field now, I can activate this, bring back one of the 3s, synchro summon, go into Borreload, bring back, one of the links, and bam, now he's got 2 counters on it, so he's got 2 negates. So it's a very easy move and a very easy combo with this deck. These 2 cards go very, very, very well together, guys. I don't think I've seen anyone else use that combo. At least I haven't seen any videos posted on YouTube. Let me know if you guys have seen something different. And then I use good old needle fiber as well, guys. I don't use him that much. I've debated on taking him out because of the new way that I use the deck. But yeah, I've debated on taking him out and maybe using this as like backup, like as a good backup card. Is this guy here? Barrow card Borg, I guess blocker is how you would say his name. He's really good because the thing with this deck, yet again, if your gateways or your cards with especially gateways, the main card, of course, you're concerned about, but any of your cards that get the counters destroyed, he can bring them back by once per turn. You can discard a card. Then at the end of your turn, if one of your continuous cards was Destroy God or Field Spell, you can add it from your graveyard to your hand at the end of the turn. So if let's say they use a card effect or monster effect or Mystic Space Typhoon or whatever, and destroy your gateway like that, or whatever, destroy it goes to go either way. You can at least bring him out, with its on your turn. At least by the end of the turn, you can at least add gateway to your hand, and the next turn you get back going with your combos and things like that. So I've debated putting him back in the deck. I had him in it when I very first built the deck, guys. But I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, it's a very different deck build. It's my first time doing one of these. So let me know if there's anything that maybe what you guys think. Maybe I said too much, or maybe I didn't add enough information. But like I said, I plan on doing 2 follow-up videos as well in this series. Let me know what your guys' comments down below. I know my deck build's very different from what I've seen, at least on YouTube. And it's, as you guys have seen if you've watched my live streams, it flows very well. I would love to do a recorded duel with you guys so you guys can see the deck in its full power, because I can't build the full version on the game. Because on the game, some of the cards, it's not up to the most recent ban list, unfortunately. So a lot of the cards, like for the... Where did she go? Like, for example, she's banned on the game, so I can't use this move in the game. So a lot of the stuff that you guys see me do, that's why I don't, when you guys see me play the game online, I don't use boar load. That's specifically why, is because I can't go into that combo. Or I can, of course, but it makes it a lot more difficult in the deck. With it built this way, it just naturally flows. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys, check out the description. I've also added my YouTube equipment, so the camera, the tripod, all the stuff that I use to film my videos. I've noticed that a lot of YouTubers, or at least more of the bigger YouTubers, tend not to do that for whatever reason. So for you guys that are new like me, just getting started out, I figured it'd help people that's maybe thinking about starting their own channel, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh or something else. So I'm going to have that in my description going down forward, guys. And yet again, I've got affiliated with Amazon, so anytime you're buying something off Amazon, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would just use the link and then buy whatever you're going to buy, and then Amazon will send me a small kickback of a percentage. Not much, but it's again, every little bit helps the channel and helps me be able to afford to continue to doing the unboxing videos and other videos that I do for you guys. But if you guys haven't yet smashed the like button and got subscribed, make sure you guys do that. But that'll do it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.